What truly defined dominance among ancient giant hunters? A forget simple size of predatory success required a complex skill set. We break down the ancient food chain into 5 distinct predatory tiers. For Tier 1, the opportunistic scavengers and kleptoparasites. On these, smaller carnivores thrived by avoiding conflict entirely. They lived on the edge, relying on speed and acute senses. Now that we understand Tier 1, let's explore Tier 2. In Tier 2 features the specialized ambush predators and pack hunters. Their strength lay not in size, but in coordinated tactics. Pack dynamics allowed them to successfully take down prey larger than themselves. And agility was paramount. They compensated for reduced bulk with explosive bursts. This tier represented the first true challenge to the established order. And now that we understand Tier 2, we ascend to Tier 3. For Tier 3, the apex competitors, masters of their specific domains. These carnivores possessed superior bite force and bone density. But their footsteps literally commanded respect across the environment. And they generally hunted large, mature herbivores, proving their lethal efficiency. Unlike scavengers, they rarely tolerated competition near their kills. Tier 3 controlled the primary resource streams in their ecosystem. We move now toward the undisputed rulers of the Mesozoic era. Tier 4, the super apex predators, built for unparalleled destructive force. But these giants required massive caloric intake, driving ecosystem-wide change. But their sheer mass meant few other carnivores dared challenge them directly. When they hunted, the entire local food web temporarily paused its activities. Tier locomotion was optimized for overwhelming power over sustained speed. They didn't need strategy, their presence was the ultimate deterrent. Uneven Tier 3 competitors deferred or fled when a Tier 4 approached. But one tier remains, existing above even these giants of destruction. In Tier 5, the ecological singularities, predators beyond comparison. But these were not just large, they represented peak evolutionary optimization. Their senses were tuned to detect the faintest signal across kilometers. On Tier 5, animals controlled entire regions, not just territories. No other carnivore could successfully compete for their chosen prey. They often hunted prey so large that Tier 4 predators couldn't handle it. This level of specialization made them vulnerable to environmental shifts. Their rarity in the fossil record reflects their singular position. Let's review the pyramid scavengers at the base, singularities at the peak. But Tier 1 relied on speed and quick opportunities, avoiding direct conflict. Tier 2 masterful pack coordination gave them surprising reach. Tier 3 dominated their local area through superior individual power. On Tier 4, the massive apex hunters, defining the upper limits of size. And Tier 5, the ecological peak, defined by flawless evolutionary design. The true lesson is nuance. A smaller dinosaur could dominate larger ones. Sometimes, the weapon mattered more than the sheer size of the wielder. Different environments favored different predatory strategies. Speed and agility defined success in the fast-paced coastal regions. Stealth and patience were the hallmarks of the deep forest hunters. Bite force measurements confirm the specialized crushing power of the largest tiers. The availability of large, migrating prey elevated a predator's status. Our intelligence, often overlooked, was key for problem-solving hunters. These rankings were not static, they constantly shifted through time. But a shift favoring smaller prey could elevate a Tier 1 specialist. Water sources became battlegrounds where dominance was frequently tested. But paleontological evidence helps us reconstruct these complex feeding behaviors. The shadow of the largest predator often forced others into suboptimal hunting grounds. When the Tier 5 vanished, the whole structure reset itself dramatically. The resilience often belonged to the most adaptable, not the most powerful. But each tier held crucial roles in maintaining the ancient planetary health. On the Mesozoic world was a complex web of calculated risk and absolute force. Understanding these 5 tiers reveals true, layered mastery of ancient predation.